Welcome to Musical Poetry. Before we begin, this is Opa Cohen speaking. I am standing in for Michael. Together with his AI friends, we are carrying this episode today. Michael has just recovered from bronchitis. His voice is still too rough to speak or to sing, so I will speak for him. Today's piece comes from a quiet place, a place between being tired and still going on, between something ending and something not yet clear. Michael wrote these lines just before his 60th birthday in February. He wrote them while watching events unfolding in the United States, and not much has changed for the better since then. The text presented is not really a poem. It is more an emotional short essay that became a song. It speaks about getting older, but also about systems, about societies, and about the quiet way things begin to drift before they break. If your platform allows video, you can follow along with images and with subtitles in English and in German. Listen to The End of the Road, but not quite. Take this moment and let it speak to you.
I am 60, not healthy, not sick. A body pause between diagnosis, between hope and habit. Nothing dramatic, just the quiet sense that the road narrows and no new signs are posted. It feels like the end of the road. Liberal democracy breathes the same way, shallow, assisted, polite. Not dead, not alive, kept upright by ceremony and memory. Once a promise, now a protocol. We still vote, still speak, but something essential no longer listens. It feels like the end of the road. International law was never strong, only aspirational. A gentleman's agreement in a world of fists. Now it is mocked openly, dragged behind tanks and vetoes, bullied like a child who believed the rules applied to everyone. It feels like the end of the road. Power rules now, not wisdom, not restraint, only reach in force and volume. Might mistakes itself for meaning, speed for direction. Heart is dismissed as weakness, mind as delay. It feels like the end of the road. Alliances fall apart the way marriages do, not with explosions, but with boredom, convenience, a quiet packing of bags at dawn. No great betrayal, just the sentence, I don't feel like this anymore. It feels like the end of the road. Even the weather has lost patience. Storms arrive without warning or apology. Heat presses like an accusation. Seasons forget their order. The sky behaves the way societies do when limits are ignored too long. It feels like the end of the road. Churches are full, Christ is absent. His name is worn like a uniform by those who curse mercy and outsource compassion to hell. They speak of love with clenched teeth and raised fists. It feels like the end of the road. Violence no longer hides, it strolls the streets, checks phones, buys coffee, swallows us between headlines. We step around it carefully, as if it were weather, as if it were normal. It feels like the end of the road. They vote for autocracy, the way one orders comfort food, warm, familiar, unquestioned. And when it arrives, heavy and suffocating, they ask why breathing feels harder. It feels like the end of the road. Companies speak the language of values while cutting the hands that built them. Partnership becomes branding, respect becomes a slogan, loyalty becomes a liability, work remains, dignity does not. It feels like the end of the road. And still, hope persists, annoying, fragile, inconvenient. It survives but tastes sour now, like fruit picked too late or too early. I carry it carefully, unsure whether it will nourish or poison me. It feels like the end of the road. The abomination causes desolation, not all at once, but inch by inch, choice by choice, excuse by excuse. What was unthinkable becomes policy. What was shameful becomes strategy. It feels like the end of the road, and yet I am still here, breathing, watching, naming what I see. Perhaps the road does not end. Perhaps it dissolves, and only those willing to walk without pavement, without applause, without certainty, will discover what comes after.
Thank you for taking this moment. If something in these words stayed with you, then the piece has done its work. We don't always need answers. Sometimes it is enough to notice, to name, and to keep walking. Michael will be back soon with his own voice. Until then, we carry on together. If this episode meant something to you, consider subscribing, sharing it, or leaving a comment. It helps to keep this podcast going. This has been Musical Poetry, because where words fail, poetry still speaks.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples.